up, everybody? It's DJ JoJo, and welcome to Harlem State of Mind podcast, where we spotlight people that represent the greatest community in the world, Harlem, NYC.
Harlem.
Whether you're a creative, an entrepreneur, a city official, or just a face of the community, this podcast is for you.
That's right.
Today I'm here at Angel of Harlem, where community, culture, and food intersect. And I got a special guest in the building. Right here, a staple of the community. If you're looking for a party, you better find this guy. So, DJ Chub Doug, welcome to Harlem State of Mind.
Thank you. That was
good to see you. Thank you.
That was good. That was good. I like that.
Appreciate it.
How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How you feeling?
Been working, just staying out of the way, trying to make an honest dollar, as we say.
Yeah, appreciate that. Much respect. I know we've been chopping it up a little bit before we pressed record, but I really want to start out by asking you, where did you get the name DJ Chub Doug?
Okay, so now I have a friend that used to live on 120th and Morningside. Back when rapping just started, I wanted to be a rapper. Of course, I didn't have a name. So he had turntables. And we used to go to his house and we used to practice rapping. But one time when I went up there, this is when he displayed the turntables. And when he started doing the turntables, I was just fascinated by him having some turntables. His name is KK. May he rest in peace. He's a legend in Harlem. He was called K Pool, K Superior. He was called the king of 125th Street because he used to always walk up and down 125th Street, and everybody, store owners, the people on the side, they always knew him. So we went, to make a long story short, we went up there and he was rapping, and I was trying to DJ. And at the time, there was only one Puerto Rican DJ on the scene that took the spotlight, and his name was Charlie Chase. And he did a rap, and he was like, yeah, we got a Puerto Rican DJ too, because I'm Puerto Rican. And instead of, he said something, and he said, he's a little fat, so we're going to call him Chubby Chase. So first it was Chubby Chase. And then Chubby Chase stuck with me for a long time. So when people say, yo, Chubby Chase, I know they know me from when I was a kid. Then I got down with a group, Rob Bass, Rob Bass and Easy Rock. It was Rob Bass, Easy Rock, it was me and this guy named Ace Dog. Ace Dog and Rob Bass was the MCs and we were the DJs, and they wasn't really getting along, or I don't know what their relationship was, but we wound up separating. When we wound up separating, with him being Ace Dog, I was like, Chubby Chase, so we changed it to Chub Dog. So it was Chub Dog and Ace Dog. And Chub Dog stayed with me up until today.
Wow, I love that. What an iconic story for
a
name.
No doubt.
I love hearing about different DJs and getting their name. I'm DJ JoJo right now, but I'm trying to find my own niche of a name. So I'm sure it'll switch up in the future.
Well, you know what? And that's another thing, like when I hear DJs, like when you hear DJs, like you hear the world famous Brucey B. You'd be like, what's the other guy's name? DJ Knuckles, Mr. 212. And then I have a friend down in North Carolina. He was Mike Tech, the crowd motivator. So I was just Chub Dog, and I was like, I gotta add something to it. So one day I was in the radio, I was looking for a name, and I was throwing it at everybody. I was like, I want to be Chub Dog something, Chub Dog, and I was throwing different names. And one day, Funkmaster Flex was on the radio, and I was listening to the radio, and he was like, oh, this is the Club Banger. And I was like, man, I'm the Club Banger. And I was like, oh, shit. I was like, Chub Dog, the Club Banger. I was like, I loved it. I told everybody, I was like, yo, I found the name. And they was like, yeah, that's it. So now it's Chub Dog, the Club Banger.
I seen that on your card. I like that. I like that tag.
Yeah.
Do you have any like cool like tags when you're DJing, like the
Well,
club banger?
yeah, I have it. One day when you hear me play, you're gonna hear. I went into the studio, and I had my son's mother. She went into the studio with me. She used to rap. Her name is Trey Lude. So
Okay.
now this is how we actually met back in the day. She was a rapper, I was the DJ, and that's just the way it worked. I took her to the studio, and I was trying to. I'm always been a funny, energetic person. So I was like, go in the studio, and she created. Oh, it's the club banger, like excited.
Oh yeah.
So now when you hear me play, you're gonna hear, oh, it's the club banger, and everybody where I go after they start hearing it after a while, they be like, oh, it's the club banger.
Yo.
You got to hear it. It's a good tag. I want to add more to it, but right now I just like the way that because that's the button that I normally
Yeah.
press when I want to let people know that I'm in the building, because it's like almost two personalities. I'm Chub Dog when I play certain songs, and then I'm also the club banger
club
when I get kind of retarded and ratchet.
I love that.
Yeah, no
Yes,
doubt, no
we
doubt.
love that.
Yeah.
It's giving a New York music industry
Yeah,
love story.
That's right. That's right. That's right. It's a
So
beautiful thing.
I love that. Going back, how old were you when you first started DJing?
I think when I started DJing, we were talking the 80s. I think I got my first set of turntables. I graduated high school in 85. I think by 83, 82, I was already DJing. Because my punishment was my mother and father, they would take my needles. Because
Wow.
needles back in the day was like $100 a piece.
Right.
And when you a teenager, you just ain't coming up with $100.
Right.
So my punishment, I can go outside, but they would take my turntable needles, so I couldn't play. I couldn't play the music or nothing like that
Wow.
if I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do in the house.
So you really grew up during like the golden age of music.
When it all started, when hip hop
Yeah.
started, everything was like, it was so brand new. So it's like I was in the mix of that. We were
Right.
battling people. Like we grew up in an era where MCs went up against MCs and DJs went up against DJs.
Right.
And I mean, listen, we stayed battling. We had crews. Like in my house, I live on Morningside. I don't live there now, but I grew up on Morningside. Dougie Fresh has been to my house.
Wow.
Fat Man Scoop has been to my house. Rob Bass has been to
Okay.
my house. And who am I? And Biz Markie.
Those are some legends right there.
I grew up with them. Rest in peace, Fat Man Scoop and Biz Markie. But they used to come to my house and we used to practice because I had turntables, I had the speakers, and then I forgot, Biz Markie used to come over to the house and he wanted to battle anybody who was in the house at the time.
That is so
Which was
wavy.
which was cool,
Yeah.
And I went on tour with Doug, and I know Fat Man Scoop. I mean, I used to DJ for Fat Man Scoop. I used to DJ for Rob Bass.
Wow.
So I was in all the mixes.
So what was that like? I know you must have crazy stories.
I got
crazy
so many
memories
stories.
from
Yeah,
that time.
it was.
Give me some memories. Give me some moments.
Well, I had just got out of high school back in '85, and that's when Lottie Dottie and the show took off for Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick and the Get Fresh crew. And I had just got a job. I had just got Chill Will, which was the DJ down with Dougie Fresh. I got him a job too. I think he worked 1 week, because then they was going on tour. Like the record blew up, and they went on tour. And Chill Will was like, "Yo, I ain't coming into work." And I was like, "Man, I wish I can go." And he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna talk to Doug." So they talked, and he was like, "Yo, all you gotta do is get on the bus," because they had a big, the tour bus was like pulling up in the block was just a big thing. So then he was like, "If you get on the bus, we got you." And I had to go. I think I was working. I was out of high school like maybe 3-4 months. I was learning how to paint and all this other stuff. And I had to go tell my boss like, "Yo, they going on tour." Like I think I was 18, 19. I was like, "Yo," and when I told my mother and father, they was like, "Yo, you young. You never know when you're gonna get that opportunity again."
Wow.
And I went on tour with them. I was on the bus. I was a roadie. All I did was carry the stuff to the room, and I was at concerts that was like, sold out arenas.
Right.
And I went on tour with LL, Run DMC, Houdini, And then we did Confunction, we did Atlanta Star, Midnight Star, we did I mean, we was just going on tour. It was just a wild time, and I had a ball. I would never forget those times.
That's crazy. So what's like one of the craziest moments you've had on tour?
Right before the show, we was having trouble with Slick Rick, because Slick Rick was like, he was just all over the place. So they was about to get on stage. I was like roadie slash bodyguard. You know, I wasn't no mustard dude, but you know, like I just stayed with either Doug or Slick Rick to kind of like, you know, protect them, make sure they all right. So there's one time we about to get on, I think about 10, 15 minutes, and Slick Rick is like, come on, man, let's go to McDonald's. I said, come on, Slick Rick, you gonna get us in trouble. And he was like, nah, we're gonna go. So we wound up going right across the street with you at McDonald's, and like everybody realized, like they was looking at him and they was like, no, there's no way that you could be, you supposed to be in the concert and you here getting food. So they didn't even believe that he was Slick Rick. And then the people who didn't know no better, who was like, Slick Rick. And I was like, yo, he was scaring me because there was just so many people. And I was like, Rick, we gotta go.
Right.
So one thing led to another. I finally got Slick Rick out of there. And when we got back to the, inside the, what you call the venue?
Like the arena?
Yeah, the arena. Yeah, when we got back in the arena, Doug was at the point where Slick Rick was about to come on.
Oh, shit.
Like he literally had to come in, and we had to, and he ran right up on stage, and everybody looked at me like, where the fuck was you at? Why was he not here? You know, because I was responsible. And I was like, yo, but that's Slick Rick. Like, how am I going to tell him what to do and not to do? So that was one of the wild moments that I had that I would never forget.
That's awesome. Yeah, I could not imagine being someone's bodyguard and them trying to go to McDonald's.
And mind you, I'm not a bodyguard. I'm just a friend, you know, just like, you know, to make sure that you know, ain't nobody attacking him, you know, because he's famous. He's too busy in the limelight, girls all over the place, and the girls were out of control. It was just a mess.
I'm sure, like, y'all probably had mad groupies.
Oh, the groupies, let me tell you, one time me and Slick Rick was in the room. We shared the room. And I think Slick Rick must have invited about at least 10 girls. So it was 10 girls in the room, and Slick Rick is not in the room. And I'm like, yo, they was like, well, where's Slick Rick? And I was like, I don't know. I'm ready for them to get out, because I know they ain't here to see me. They here to see Slick Rick. And Slick Rick is nowhere to be found. And little by little, the girls kept, you know, leaving. And then like 2 of them stayed, and, you know, I don't want to tell that part of the story.
Then it was NSFW.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a wild time, but I will never forget those times.
Wow. So you was DJing during like the era with records, needles,
Vinyl.
mixtapes.
Yeah, mixtapes.
How do you feel about DJs today? Like even DJs like myself that grew up with a computer and the controller.
Well, I mean, this part of the story that you might not know is like, I wound up doing 17 years in prison. When I came home, everything was digital. So I was lost, literally. When I left, I had 3 sets of turntables, 1200s. I had one that I left in the house always set up so I could always practice. And I had 2. I had 2 in a suitcase, and I had 1 in a coffin that had legs depending on what kind of party I was doing, because I had a big sound system. And people was booking me for the sound or the DJing. So imagine, I remember when I used to call home, and I used to tell my friends, oh, you gotta make sure you put some copies away for me. And then when it started going over digital, when I came home and everybody was talking Serato on laptop and controller and all like that, it took me a while just to even understand what was, you know, what happened.
Of course, yeah.
You know, especially after being gone 17 years, because from 99 to 2016, I was incarcerated.
Wow.
You know, so when I was incarcerated, you know, I come home and the first thing I wanted to do was DJ. My father, he lent me some money just so I can get the computer, the speakers, and the controller. because he
Wow.
knew that's what I wanted to do. He been watching me DJ for years, you know.
Wow.
So
Well, bless your father for that. And I mean, that must have been absolutely crazy. Just that transition from, getting incarcerated at 1999 to finally being free again in 2016. I mean, I wasn't even born in 1999, and then I was 16 in 2016. So
yeah,
I can only imagine. I can't imagine what that was like for you. Do you feel like um, do you feel like there should be a type of like prison reform for people that are coming out of prison to like reacclimate to society? Like, was the transition really hard for you?
you know what? It was a lot better than most because I had the support of family and friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like my family, I got a big family. So when I came home, and I was one of them family members that I got along with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I come around, we having a good time. And I ain't that family member that when you see them, you be like,
Yeah.
who invited this one? You know, I wasn't him. Like everybody really, even now, they enjoy my presence like because I enjoy them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it was a little bit easier for me to transition. Like my sister got me a job. You know, I was living with my mother and father. They were supportive. My sister, my brother. You know, I had friends that were supportive.
Mm-hmm.
Like even Chill Will. I remember when I did get my controller, and Chill Will sold me a laptop, and I was like, well, I don't know what I'm doing with this laptop. Like, come on, when I left the streets, we had the Nextel phones.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the chirp with the walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
So now you got smartphones and you got computers
Right.
and all this other craziness. And he actually took his time and he walked me through all the steps. I mean, he was a big part. My man Mike was a big part. DJ Knuckles, you know, and all of them gave me, like I had a hard drive and all of them was giving me music
Mm-hmm.
because I got 16 years of not knowing where to, you know, of music that I don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
That even to today, I could be driving and somebody will play something, I hear something on the radio, and I'd be like, oh, that's hot. When that come out? And that been out.
Wow.
And I'm just hearing it for the first time. But you know, I like them songs I look for songs that is gonna make people get up and dance and want to lose their damn mind. That's what I'm looking for. You know, all the
Club banger.
Yeah. So now, you know, the listening to songs, you're only gonna, you know, that's when you're cleaning up the house and you want to lay down or relax. I look for that energy, them energy songs. So yeah, they gave me a lot of music. Even to today, I would hear something and I would go to my hard drive and I'd be like, oh wow, it's there.
Wow. Yeah.
And you know, even learning the hard drive, just to maneuver,
Yeah.
you know, and just like now I'm a lot better because I wasn't scared of the computer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was constantly like, what did this do? Oh, don't do that. One time I deleted my whole file, not knowing what I was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a mess. It was a mess.
That's very inspiring, though. I mean, the fact that you didn't get discouraged by it, but instead you were like more intrigued.
Music is my passion. I don't, like right now in my life, I don't want to do nothing but play. Like like I was telling you over there, when I don't play, I get depressed.
Yeah.
It's like I mean, don't get me wrong, I stay busy. I work, I do the things that I gotta do. But if I go a long period of time without playing, I know my emotions, I know my feelings. It's like I don't want it's like a fiend.
Yeah.
Because I like to be in front of a lot of people. And like I just did a house party.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that house party was just and what it was my friend's wife.
Mm-hmm.
She had breast cancer. Oh. And she survived. It was her birthday. You know, she went through chemo. She had a rough year. Yeah. So he told me they was gonna have a house party. And I was like, well, you got a DJ? He was like, no. I said, don't worry, I got it. I'll do it for free because I know both of them. Oh man, they was lit.
That's awesome.
Oh my God, we had so much fun. And there was a thing was that they was more like reggae crowd. Mm-hmm. So I haven't got a chance to really touch reggae crate that I have as much as I did that night. Like I went through a lot of old songs.
Well, they got the best type of energy.
Yeah. It's just amazing. That reggae music is no matter where you go, reggae is so universal.
Yeah.
Like when I go down south, they listen to different hip hop, but you can't listen to different reggae.
No, yeah.
You know, when I went to Florida and I was DJing in Florida, they were listening to different hip hop, but the reggae has always been the same. So I always knew that no matter what state I go to, if I start my set and they get crowded, I always go to reggae first because I know reggae is going to grab everybody.
Or even DJing for white people. They will dance to
Yeah,
that.
that's right.
They
That's right.
definitely will.
Reggae. And then you'd be surprised when they come up to you and they ask you, yo, do you got, and they name a reggae song. I'm like, yo, you serious? Of course I got that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And shout out to our breast cancer survivors and people with lots of breast
Yeah, no
cancer.
doubt,
My
no
mom
doubt.
is also a breast cancer survivor, so shout out to her.
Yeah.
Did you see the difference in like the clubs since before you were locked up until after? Because I don't know, for me, I've grown up in the 2000s, but I've started to feel like people don't dance. Like I see videos.
They don't dance.
They don't dance like they
No,
used to in the
no.
90s or the 80s.
Listen, back when I was DJing, the club would be packed. We barely had tables, and we going to 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. And I'm talking about we dancing.
Yeah.
You coming off the floor sweating.
Yeah.
You know, like when that music came on, I mean, we dance and we'll go a bunch of records before we even think about getting off the floor. Nowadays, this is what they do. You could play a record.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they put it down.
Exactly.
Oh, another record. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Let me get my phone out.
Let me get my phone. Let me say my word. Let me get my little clip.
Right.
And then put it down.
I hate that.
See, me, like even here when I play at Angels, like I know it's a restaurant, but I try to get people out their seat. Like, you know, like especially when it's crowded. Like when we got people at the bar and all like that, you know, I'm trying to turn up, man. I'm trying to have that energy. Because it ain't nothing like seeing people move. Like even like when I do parties and I see a lot of people dancing, you know, I usually say, okay, now this is the most exercise you probably gonna do this week. Don't hurt yourself. You know, because they out there dancing and I'm like, all right now. They start going down to the floor. Okay, now you can't get up. I ain't coming to get you. You know, stuff like that. But yeah, it's so different. Because people can have a good time now with the phone and all they really want to do is just get their little clips in with that particular part of the music and then they put the phone down. Where back in the day we didn't have phones.
Right. It's more about the look of the moment than actually living in the moment.
Yeah, living it. A lot of people don't live in the moment. They don't understand that no matter how bad this moment or how good this moment is, you don't take advantage of it.
Right.
You don't live in it. Because you're too busy worrying about yesterday or you're worrying about what's coming. You can't do nothing about what passed and you might not never make it to this. So you miss out on the now. So like everything that I do, I try to enjoy the right now moment.
Wow.
Because a lot of people don't. They miss out. They're too busy worrying about this and this, that you can't change this and you might not never get to this. Meanwhile, you got all this bad and good happening in front of you and you don't take advantage of it.
So some wise words from DJ Chubb Doug. If y'all didn't hear that part, you better run it back and listen to it again.
Yeah.
Because too many people don't live in the right now.
Yeah, you know, it's easy to get caught up in what you got to do tomorrow compared to what you did yesterday. Compared to tomorrow might not never get here.
Right.
I might leave here and that's it. So now that's why I enjoy the even if it's crazy, even if it ain't going right, I try to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because I got a saying that, you know, some days are better than others, but every day is a great day. Every day is a great day. You just got to live in that moment, and we just choose not to.
Wow, I think that's beautiful, and I think that your whole like life journey, I mean, it's had so many ups and downs, but I think that the way that you look at life is so beautiful and inspiring.
Thank you.
What do you think is one of the biggest lessons that you've learned so far in your life?
Don't sell drugs. No. You know, the last time I saw didn't work out for me. Now, my biggest lessons is that A lot of people have passion for certain things and choose not to pursue that or even indulge or participate. Like right now, I started a trucking company. I'm over here running up and down the state when all I really want to do is play. And like I used to tell my father and my mother, I'd be like, all I want to do is play. I don't want to do nothing else. I enjoy being behind the turntables, having a crowd in front of me and rocking. You know, like when you play that song and everybody like, ah, you know, and you know, you as a DJ, you know, if you drinking and you a little buzz, it's gonna take your buzz even higher.
No, for sure.
Because you're doing what you're supposed to do. This is what, you know, it's like being an artist.
Yeah.
You know, you performing.
Yeah. We're entertainers.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. We're entertainers. You get that on the button. So it's like, you know, when you entertaining the people and they rocking and they come up and they be like, oh my God, like my sister, I did a party for my sister, and I haven't played freestyle in forever because I don't have that crowd in front of me. So my sister was like, yo, it's a lot of people here. They're gonna want to hear freestyle. So I got down to Florida a little bit early, and we started downloading all the freestyle. So when the party came, I started playing the freestyle that I remember from back in the day. I just haven't heard it. And I'm playing, and there was this one dude, he was from the Bronx, living in Florida for 10 years, drunk. Yo, oh my God, you took me home. And he giving me a hug, and I'm like, yo, get off me. No, I didn't do that. But, you know, he was just so happy. And it was like, it was crazy how music captured him and brought him back to a place that he ain't been in a while. And it was crazy because when I downloaded the music, I was like, oh shit, I ain't heard this in a long time. And I remember when I used to listen to that stuff. You know, yeah, music is just incredible.
Yeah, no,
You know?
for sure. And yeah, like that's one of the highlights of DJing for me too, is like having that effect, seeing that effect happen on people. Where it's like, you kind of just fuck their head up for a
you
second.
created that. Don't let you drop something that people ain't heard in a long time. And then they, you know, like, because every crowd is going to dictate something different. It's never going to be the same energy. It might be, you might play certain songs a certain way because it might be a different crowd. But like my brother, my sister, my number one fans. They be like, oh, you always play that. But you've been listening to me play for 30 years. What are you talking about? There ain't but so many songs you can play for certain people that like to listen to certain songs. You know? So like when I went to do the house party and they wanted to listen to reggae, I haven't played that music in so long, but I know how to play it because I practiced all my crates. When I get a chance to sit down and practice, I go through crates that I normally don't touch. So when the crowd presents itself, I get a chance to play it and practice to see how am I practicing.
Cool. I feel like I just love your passion for music. I love how you really, like, your passion of music has gotten you so far, and how you never gave up on your love of DJing even when facing adversity because you loved music so much. I feel like that's that's iconic for a DJ. Like, you really have a love for it. So everybody, make sure y'all be booking DJ Chubb Doug.
The Club Banger.
The Club Banger.
And DJ JoJo. We're going to get a name to go along with the JoJo. We're going to figure it out, okay?
Hello.
Somehow, some way, we're going to put it together.
What advice do you have for any, like, people that want to become DJs?
First of all, you gotta have an open mind to all music. Like when I used to travel, and I would, like, when we go down south, like one time when No Limit and Cash Money came out, you know, I'm from New York, so I'm Rough Rider, Biggie, you know, we all, and then when Cash Money, I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
But I just wasn't open to it. And then when I went down there, I remember one time I was at Fayetteville University, they was having a homecoming. And there was a DJ at the time, his name, he still plays, DJ B-Lord. And he was DJing and Busta Rhymes was performing and we was all backstage and all like that. And, you know, he was playing and I was about to play because when I play, no matter where I am, I'm gonna get on my New York Harlem shit. I'm born and raised in Harlem. So I got a Harlem swag. I got Harlem flavor. I got music, Harlem all in me. So he was playing, and he played No Limit Soldier. And when he played, when it went, I'm talking about the crowd went crazy. And when I sat back and I looked at it as a DJ, I was like, I gotta start playing that. Like, and then it really made me realize that I have to open my mind to music. I can't say I don't like it. I gotta at least give it a chance to really understand and see why this record is playing so much on the radio, even though I don't like it, even though that ain't my thing, even though like, bachata might not be my thing. But if you go to the right crowd and you go to the right situation, you can play bachata all night, and these people are gonna dance all night. So you as a DJ, you gotta be open to that. You gotta get a chance to really sit down and understand that even though you don't like it, you gotta have some type of love for it, because there's gonna come a time where you gotta play it and you're gonna be good at it.
Yeah.
Because you understand the music.
Facts. That's true. That's some good advice right there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take that myself.
Yeah, because like I said, well, it's certain music that we just don't. We have preferences as DJs. Like, you're not gonna send me to where they play techno music all night long and expect me to DJ. I don't know that music. I don't even think that I'm open mind to it. But if I'm not saying if the opportunity. I mean, and them techno DJs, they make $10,000 in one night.
Insane.
Like
they do.
I don't understand it. You might not understand it, but
Me either.
they selling out coliseums.
With that rave culture,
that's right. I mean, listen, it just be the DJ. He
Yeah.
gets paid $50,000, $60,000 for one night, and they repacked.
Right. And to us, it might sound like a bunch of little computer noises, but to the thousands of people that are paying like $20+ a ticket.
Yeah, and they be wide open.
Yeah.
And they with the glow sticks and all that. Yeah, they be wide open. But so now, giving advice to anybody who wants to DJ, you got to be open to all the music. Music, the creativity of music, just to be able to put sound together and have it where people could really enjoy it. You as a DJ got to have that understanding. It's a language, and you got to try to understand the language. Even though it might not be the language that we speak, we still got to be able to understand it because it's music.
Yeah.
Music.
All right, now I want to go into a next little segment that we have on the show. This is called Complete the Sentence.
Complete the sentence. Okay, bet.
So you're Harlem, born and raised, so I'm
raised.
I'm going to do like 3 sentences for you, okay?
Go ahead.
Harlem isn't Harlem without blank.
Harlem isn't Harlem without the Apollo.
Okay, shout out Apollo Theater.
The Apollo Theater. I mean, like, when you think of Harlem, you automatically think of Hunter and Fitzgerald. You don't know how many of my friends come up here and they be like, yo, there's a couple things we want to do. They want to go to Times Square, downtown, but if they in Harlem, they want to go by the Apollo. And they stay there and they take the pictures. And I'll be like, man, I've been seeing this Apollo for years.
Oh my gosh. Now, I always think about like amateur nights at
Amateur
Apollo
night.
Theater.
Yeah, Doug, I was locked up and I used to watch Doug host the show.
Okay.
And I used to sit there and watch him host and watch the crowd. And I'd be like, oh shit, I know that person and know that person and know. Because it'll be just a bunch of people from, they were from all over, but we could walk to the Apollo. So 9 times out of 10, me being in this neighborhood, I've actually been in this neighborhood outside of my 50+ years.
Wow.
Like, it's been that much. Like, I could walk around this neighborhood and people will come up to me, oh! And then they walk by, but I don't know who the hell that was. I don't know who the hell was that. But they know me and they call me Eric. Like, so when people call me Eric, I know they know me from when I was a kid. So they say, oh, Eric, oh, what, who the hell is that? I don't know half the people that call me Eric. I just want to say this. One time I was locked up and my street name is Chubb. So it was Chubb Dog or Chubb. So when I got incarcerated, somebody called me Eric, and I was like, how's, like everybody on me Charles, and I turned around, and there was a friend of mine that lived up the block.
Oh
Like
my
we grew up
gosh.
together. We was locked up together.
Wow.
I mean, it's sad, but I mean, it was just the fact that, when people call you Eric, like that's like it had definition. But back to the sentence, the Apollo. Harlem is not Harlem without the Apollo, Rucker, Grant's Tomb. Let me see what else. Well, we got. Oh, the SNS Club, Rooftop, Harlem World. I mean, it's so much. We say Apollo because Apollo is like the main. Like everybody will know that. Not too many people know about Harlem World.
Yeah.
Where it actually started at, where people used to battle Kumo D, Lovebug Starsky, and all of them dudes, and Spoony G, and all of them. They used to battle on 116th Street.
Wow.
They used to have big rival battles. And then you had the SNS Club on 145th Street, where everybody used to go to Willie Burgers. And then you got Emma G's right down 105th Street. So when you think about Harlem, you're going to think about out of we'll say the normal stuff that people will come to Harlem for. You had Rooftop, you had SNS Club, you had Grant's Tomb, you had Harlem World, you had Joe Grant's, which was the after-hour spot on 112th Street. Like when all the club closed down, they opened it up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh shit.
And we there till like 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning. And we just rocking music, and it's loud. And back then we young, we 18, 19, 20, so we dancing.
Yeah.
As a kid, I was into, we trying to get up on the girls, and the girls were trying, you got to be there.
I know, you got to be there. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're rubbing it in my face now, Joe Duck.
Yeah, really got to be there.
Okay, next one. It isn't a Harlem summer night without blank.
The motorcycles and the cars.
Yeah.
Because when you in Harlem, and like we used to, on a Wednesday, after the Apollo Theater, 125th Street became like it became like a show.
Yeah.
The cars, the motorcycles, people hanging out, and we had nothing to do. We just sat. You have like a whole block of nothing people with motorcycles, and they just sitting on the motorcycles. We ain't doing nothing. Then you had the cars with the drop tops and the the systems, and they just going from maybe Fifth Avenue, make a U-turn, come back this way. They won't get past maybe Amsterdam Avenue, and then make a U-turn and come back that way, and then they find parking, and 125th Street would just be packed. So a Harlem summer night, they can't say they don't remember 125th Street. Off the hook. Or, every Wednesday, they go to the Apollo, and then when they come out the Apollo, it was like a big party right there on 125th Street. You missed that one too.
I did.
Yeah, that was like one time I came back into town, and they was like, I was like, where you at? He was like, I'm on 125th Street. So from Morningside, I started walking, and there was just so many people, and I started getting kind of like, yo, what the hell is going on? And when I got to 125th Street, I was like, wow. And then like back then, we knew so many people, so it's like you can't even go 2-3 minutes. We're like, oh, what's up? Oh my God, what's good? Those people I did know.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a good time.
All right, last question. Since we're from Harlem, and this is known as one of the places where people dress the best, have the most swag, are the flyest. If you're from Harlem, you better have blank in your closet.
If you're from Harlem, you better have. Well, now we're talking back in the day.
Yeah.
And we're talking back in the day, you had to have some type of Dapper Dan stuff in your closet.
Okay, shout out Dapper Dan.
Yeah, Dapper Dan, he's a legend in Harlem. And he used to have a shop on 125th Street where all the stars used to go to. So, and one time I had a little bit of money. I went in there and got me a Louis Vuitton suit.
Okay.
It was a jumpsuit. And that's the only piece I've ever had. And it had the matching. You know what? I gotta find a picture of that.
I was about to say, we're gonna need a picture.
Yeah, I got to find a picture. But it was it was a Louis Vuitton hat, and it was a jumpsuit that I could actually zip up the knees, and then it would become like a pair of shorts, but it was a pair of overalls.
Oh, shit. Okay, that's
Yeah,
wavy.
and then he had my name in there, and he
Mm-hmm.
had my name on the front, and it said Chubb, no, it said Chubby, and Louis Vuitton letters.
Wow.
So yeah, Dapper Dan. If you ain't had Dapper Dan stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like I mean, it was expensive. Not too many people had it, but trust me, if you didn't have it, you wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
Because all the drug dealers, all the people who have money, all the famous people, you see them with the Louis Vuitton, the Gucci jackets, and the hats, and you had to have that in your closet. Damn, it was crazy times.
That's fleet. I definitely want to get me some Dapper Dan gear. I got one of those Dap
he lives
hoodies.
right up the block.
Yeah. No,
Oh.
yeah. And I seen he did the collab with Gap.
With the Gap,
What was that?
yeah, with
like?
Gap.
Yeah. I got something for my nephew. I got jealous, but I'm like, I didn't have a lot of money on me at the time.
We grew up together because he lives in my neighborhood. So when he sees me, yo, Chubb, oh, what's up? Welcome home, and I see Dap all the time.
Wow, you gotta put in a good word for me.
Yeah, no, yeah. Maybe he might come and sit down with you.
Yeah, no, we would love that.
Because
Get him on the pod.
Yeah, for Harlem. Yeah, he represents Harlem hard, man. And he just walks around. He's just a regular, good, down to earth individual.
That's amazing because he's been doing some dope things lately. I seen he did the styling for the Met Gala.
Yeah.
That was fire, and like doing the ode to the Zoot Suit era, fire. So, shout out Dapper Dan.
Shout out Dapper Dan. That's right.
Chubb Doug, it's been great having you today.
Thank you. I appreciate
your time. Appreciate your story.
I appreciate that. I appreciate y'all having me. Giving me a chance to tell my story.
Yeah, of course. Because, it's a good one.
Harlem. I've been in Harlem all my life, and as much as besides the parking, I know I'm gonna die in Harlem. I be telling people I can't wait to leave only because I know I got my parking situation. When you got big trucks and all kind of craziness, it's hard to find parking around here.
Yeah, I can only
But
imagine.
but I mean, I'm always, if I leave Harlem to go anywhere, I'm always gonna come back and always visit this part of New York City. Harlem is always, it's just my life.
Yeah, there's no place like it.
And you know what? I got a weight belt, and like, I know I'm going back to when I was incarcerated, but I had Harlem on the back of it.
Oh wow!
So people when people see Harlem, they're not going to say, "Oh, you from there's a Harlem in Washington."
No.
Or there's a Harlem in no, you know where I'm from.
Right.
I'm Harlem, And then when what was that Jim Jones came out, ballin' Harlem.
Oh yeah.
And all like that. So and when people see me, they be like, ballin'. I'm like, get out of here.
No, that's tough. That Chubb Doug is Harlem.
Harlem.
So
all the
yeah.
way.
Tell the people how to stay connected to you, where they can follow you on Instagram. I know you have a trucking business, so if you want to shout that out as well.
Shout out to my trucking business. It's called Little E Transportation. It's a small, it's hot shot. I got a pickup truck and a trailer, and I transport cars all over the place. I named it Little E after my son, because when I was locked up, my son passed away. Well, he was train surfing.
So sorry to hear that.
And while he was train surfing, and it's crazy because kids, even to now, they are still train surfing. So when I came home, I wanted to do something in memory of my son. So I started a trucking business, and I named it Little E Transportation.
Well, shout out Lil E.
Little E Transportation. So now matter of fact, I'm only laughing because lately I've been on my Chubb Dog page. I got an Instagram, Chubb Dog. I got Instagram. I got TikTok. I got Facebook. And those are the three that I basically have. But Instagram, I only got Little E. I got Little E Transportation on Instagram. And they won't let me go live unless I get 1,000 followers.
Wow.
So now lately I've been on my Chubb Dog page, and I just did a video just now, like on my Chubb Dog page saying, look, it's Chubb Dog, the club banger. I need followers. I don't need no money. I don't need you to help me with my company or nothing like that. I need you to follow so I can go live on my Little E Transportation page. So you got Little E Transportation and you got Chubb Dog, the club banger.
Make sure to follow, yeah.
Make sure to follow.
Well, it's been great having you today.
Thank you.
Thank you for your story.
Miss JoJo.
We'll make sure to get you back on the pod so we can keep talking about music and
Yeah, no doubt. Anytime.
everything. I still got way more questions to ask you, but
Okay.
thank you for your time today, and it's
thank
been
you for
great
having
having
me.
you.
I appreciate that. You did that.
Well, yeah, it's been Harlem State of Mind podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Peace and love always, and make sure to keep it real.
That's right. And shout out to Alberto.
That was great.
That was great. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank
I had
you
a
so
great
much.
time. That was good.
I hope I didn't ask anything too crazy.
No, you did